Hi guys, welcome to Pearls of Color. I'm Sarah. You can find me on Ravelry as Sarah Lowe's, Sarloz. I'll post a link in my show notes so you guys can find me. Thank you for joining. This is episode 2. I have one episode and a test run episode up on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, I have a blog as well, so you can check the blog out. The previous posts are just, your typical blog post about my knitting, and recently you'll find the videos, the podcast episodes. So, depending on where you find me, come check me out. You can also find me now on Ravelry in the Pearls of Color podcast group. I put that together after I recorded the first episode. It's been about 2 weeks since I have talked to you, and it's been a long 2 weeks. I meant to record a little sooner, however, some things came up and I wasn't able to. We had, there was a bit of a family emergency during this long weekend, and then I had to help my sister move because those who were supposed to help her move had to go take care of the emergency. So I was kind of, it was just kind of one of those weekends where you wait to hear about what's going on with the family, but then it was also a week of trying to organize and making sure my sister was ready to move. So it was pretty hectic. I also had some good times though. I went canoeing for the first time with my boyfriend, and I'm hoping to go again this weekend because I didn't go last weekend. I went the weekend after I recorded the last episode. And I want to go again. It was a lot of fun. It was really relaxing. Those of you who have never gone, it's pretty easy if you go somewhere where there's not a strong current. So I recommend it. It was fun. And it was intimidating at first, but once you get going, it's a breeze. Go. It's fun if you haven't. So that was my first time canoeing or even kayaking. I haven't actually gone kayaking, but it's the same type of thing, just a different. In a canoe, you're with another person, and then kayak, you're by yourself. So I want to go this weekend and try out the kayaks with my boyfriend. Hopefully he agrees. And then I went mini golfing, and that was a lot of fun. We have a nice mini golf place that does homemade ice cream as well. So we went up there, and it was fun. Actually, it was a lot of fun, and I wish I could have had a little more fun last weekend, but I'm hoping to do that this weekend. This past 2 weeks have been a little overwhelming. I started work again. I'm a behavior therapist in the public schools, and I work with kids with autism. So I was given a new student. So it's been a lot of adjusting, getting a relationship built with him, trying to figure out what will work best with him, and also just trying to get familiar with his behavior plan, his IEP, and what's expected of him in the classroom. So this past week has been really overwhelming, and to add the weekend on top of it, it's just been a lot, and I haven't done a lot of knitting. I haven't been really motivated to. I've just been really tired, and when I got home, like when I've been getting home from work, I've been tired. I've just wanted to relax. I have been running, walking. So when I finish all that, I just want to lay in bed and watch TV, and that's basically what I've been doing. I did get some knitting done, and I will show you that. First, though, I want to go in and talk about some housekeeping. For those of you who have seen my previous episodes, there wasn't a Ravelry review before that, so there is one now. Please stop by and please just pop in and say hi. Join in some of the posts. It's not very active right now, and I'm trying my best to get it active. So for those of you who have joined, please hop in if you want. Make your own post. Start your own topics. I'm not picky on what you post. Share different things with us. That's one thing I like about knitting, and I'm one of those people that when I find something I like to do, I want to just share it with everybody, and Ravelry is so great for that because there's these knitting and spinning and crochet and all the fiber arts. It's not very big where I'm from. You don't really meet a lot of people who who take part in the activities. So I really enjoy sharing that, and that's, the best way to do that is through like a podcast, through Ravelry, through the groups. So share whatever you want. Don't feel like you just have to stick to what I talk about in my podcast. Mention other podcasts. Mention just whatever you want. Start, post, do whatever you want. If I decide it's not really appropriate, I might remove it. But just please feel free to get involved. And part of that, to get involved is I want to do a Halloween make-along. And it's going to be a pretty broad themed knit-along. It just has to be Halloween related. So it has to either be a pattern that has to do with Halloween, or it has to be a Halloween colorway for your yarn. I want to make it so that those of you who are taking part in the Old Loops Harry Potter knit-along extravaganza, that you can be able to still participate in those activities as well as in my make-along. Because I want to actually do the Harry Potter knit-along myself. So I will be knitting a pair of socks to go along with their Fred and George knit-along. So it's a very broad category. Has to be Halloween related. You can knit, you can crochet, but it has to be Halloween themed. And it's gonna start September 20th and go until October 25th. And I know that's a strange time frame, but I don't want to close the thread on Halloween and send out the prizes after, because they're Halloween themed prizes. I will be giving away some No Makers yarn, and let me pull out. Okay, so I bought, since I'm always talking about her, I thought it was only appropriate that my first giveaway, or prize, I should say, would be her yarn. So I bought some Halloween mini skeins that she offers, and it has all of her special Halloween skein colorways. I'm sorry, that's not a good picture. Let me take the yarn out and I'll show you them. I love her yarn, and you guys know that. Those of you who have been on my blog know that. Those of you who watched the first 2 episodes have probably realized that. Most everything I knit is her yarn. Her yarn takes up pretty much my whole stash, like 95% of my stash. So, this Monster Kerfluffle. Hold on, I always say this wrong. Kerfluffle. And it's this purple turquoise orange color. It's really pretty. And then she's got a new colorway, Mrs. Frankie. And it's a really nice black, white, green, and kind of like a raspberry purple lipstick type color. Really nice. And then there's Mr. Frankie. And I love this new colorway. It's a new one that she put out this year. It's like grays and green. Trying to find the best color representation. And this one's my favorite. So, well, my second favorite Halloween color. She just came out with it. I don't have it yet. She's going to be coming out with a doppelganger set, and I wanted to get Mr. Frankie as a doppelganger set. So I'm waiting. There's Candy Corn, which is your orange, yellow, and white. There's Witch's Brew, which is my favorite Halloween colorway from her, and it's basically a black yarn with purple, bright green, and bright orange, like scattered throughout. And the gnomes I knit last episode is with the Witch's Brew. And then these 3 always get me confused. I just can't remember their names straight for these. So, there's this orange and black, this orange, black, and white, and this is orange, black, white, and yellow. This one I'm pretty sure is Gnomes of the Corn. Hold on. Yeah, Gnomes of the Corn. This one I think is Trick or Treat. And I think the one without the yellow in it is Smell My Feet. Could be wrong. But I want to say that's right. So you'll win. So that's going to be one of the prizes. So somebody will win her Halloween colors. And I know she probably won't be selling the colors by the time this make-along is over. And if I had started the podcast earlier, I would have had done this for September. But I didn't. And it is what it is. But at least this is her house gnome base, so at least that's her main base pretty much. So for her socks anyways. So you guys will at least be able to test out the yarn base, and you'll get kind of familiar with some of her special colors. I really enjoy Amanda. She's really sweet. She's really kind. She's very responsive. So if you write to her, she answers back. And she just has a great personality. She ships super fast. Her customer service is amazing. Her yarn is amazing. You guys, I can't say enough good things about Amanda. So, for my make-along, September 20th to October 25th, Halloween themed. You can double dip. So if you're taking part in the Harry Potter knit-along with the old Luke's girls, then you can post in my thread for that. If you're doing the No Makers is even having a Halloween theme, double dip. If there's any other Halloween cal going on, because I'm sure there is, feel free to double dip. And you could either win some mini skeins from No Makers, or you could win a copy of Susan Claudino's newest patent patch. She just posted it on Ravelry the other day, and as soon as I saw it, I knew I wanted to knit it, and I asked her if she would be willing to donate a copy to a winner of the cal, and she was more than happy to. So you could win a copy. And that's another reason why my make-along isn't for the whole month of October, because for someone who wins the patch pattern, if you want to knit one before Halloween, you have about a week before Halloween to make one. And it's a small pattern. She made it using mini skein bundles from No Makers and her Roy G. Bibb mini skein set. So I don't think it's a big one. I think it's a really quick knit. So you should have plenty of time to make one if you win the pattern. And it gives you a week too to use the mini skeins if you want to make a little witch or a gnome or a patch with it. So that's why it's the dates that it is. And I want to allow as much double dipping as possible, but please keep in mind the dates, because mine is enough time that you should be able to double dip in both. But if you're doing the old loops, her Fred and George is only going to be for the month of October, I think. So make sure you plan your start dates wisely. And let me show you a picture of the patch pattern, because it's really cute. And you can knit one of these. You can knit one of these for my knit-along. If I happen to pull you as a winner and you've already knit one, I'll make sure that the mini skeins go to you. So here's Patch. I think he's really cute. And I think it would be even cute too if you took like one of the leaves that you use for the hands and like add it on top of his head. Like you could turn it into a little girl pumpkin patch with 2 leaves and do like a little bow up in the corner of its head. So I think it's a really cute pattern. I love Susan's techniques that she uses. She's just, she always blows my mind. There's always something in her pattern that I see and I'm like, dear Sarah, why did you not think of that? Because it's just so simple and it's, I don't know, I just feel like I should have thought of it at some point and never did. And Susan is No Knit Sherlock on Valerie, and you can actually find her. She actually joined the group, so if you check our members page, she's in there. And I am also going to post a forum post about the make-along, so that I'll put a link in there to her as well. So that's one way for me wanting to get like the group active. So you have to be part of my group, the Pearls of Color podcast group, in order to win a prize and post in the make-along. Also, right now, the podcast can only be found on YouTube and my blog. And I'm trying to put it on iTunes, but I'm getting really confused. And I know I should ask my boyfriend because he's a techie guy. He offered to help, but I kind of want to try it myself first. So any of you podcasters out there know a link or anything that might help me just figure out how to get it on iTunes, please PM me or please post a comment somewhere so that I can try to get the podcast up and going on iTunes. Also, if you happen to know a good editing program, I would love to hear it. So I record on my iPad. However, I do upload it on my computer and put it onto YouTube from there. So it can be an app for the iPad, or it can be an editing program for my computer. Ideally, I would like something free, but mention those that aren't free as well if you know one, because I can look into it at least. So please share some tips if you have any, and I'd be forever grateful and in your favor. So let's see, I talked about my week a little. I talked about the housekeeping and the group. So I think now I want to show you my whips. If there's anything else I didn't mention, I'll maybe post it in the show notes, because I can't think if there's any more housekeeping. Just, I really want you guys to be active, if you can, and I want to get the group going. And I really appreciate those of you who have watched and subscribed to me on YouTube, have watched my blog, and who have joined the group. If you haven't joined the group, stop on by. Get chatty. You can post whatever you like. I also want to know your guys' opinions about a swap. And I was thinking maybe around Christmas time, but I know it gets really busy with holiday knitting, so maybe not Christmas time. Maybe, I don't know. I just want to do a swap maybe. So, if you have any suggestions, let me know. Let me know. I also want to do a winter cal, and I'm thinking, I think I want to do a thrummed knitting cal, because I have always wanted to make some thrummed mittens. I have tons of fiber to do it, but I never do. And for a prize, I think I have some undyed fiber, and maybe I'll find a skein of yarn so that it goes along with the thrummed mitten theme. But I guess that's not too practical if you've already made thrummed mittens. I don't know. Just throwing ideas out there. I'll think about it some more. So those are just some ideas in the works. If you guys have suggestions, I'm open to anything. So yeah, housekeeping. Now for some whips. Like I said, I don't have any FOs. I think I said that. If I didn't, there you go. It has not been a good finish in a couple weeks for me. I did work a lot on my level up socks. And guys, for those of you who have read my blog, know that I've been knitting these since January. For those of you who don't, now you do. And they've just been kind of blah. There's not much I can say about them. The pattern is great. Heather, if you're watching this, it's not your pattern. It's me. It's like the curse of my boyfriend. Every time I want to make him socks, something goes wrong. And it usually has to do with sizing. And maybe that's just because I'm not that great at sizing. But the first sock I finished fit him perfectly. This one does not. And I'm going to have to do frogging. But I wanted to show you first so you guys can just feel the pain with me, sympathize with me, because you guys would be so proud. So when I last showed you guys the sock, it was only like here, but I got all the way down to the toe decreases. My boyfriend and I decided we needed to catch up on one of our TV shows, so we did, and I did some marathon knitting along with marathon watching. And I got a lot done. And as I got to the toe decreases, I decided, you know what, let him try them on. I don't want to be too tight around his toes. He does not like that, and I don't want to start too soon. Like if his foot just happens to be a smidge longer than the other foot, it's just gonna throw the toe off. So I had him try them on, and it was a struggle. He likes socks with negative ease. So I knit a lot of negative ease for him. We have similar feet. Mine are a little narrower and shorter than his, but in general, we're pretty close. I can wear his socks. They're a little baggy on me. But our feet are very close in size. When I knit socks, I cast on the same amount of stitches I would for myself. I just knit his longer. Because of the negative ease, they scrunch up. Like, they pull out and they scrunch up on his foot. So I knit them longer. And it's been working. The first sock looked great. The second sock looks good. Sorry guys, I had an itch on my leg. The second sock looks good. See? Looks great. And I didn't even use the pattern for the cable. I had it down. I went through it super fast. It just doesn't fit him. And I think, I have to check my gauge, but I think the gauge is tighter because when I cast on the first sock, I was knitting 2 at a time socks. I wanted to do his and her socks. A pair for him, a pair for me. I didn't want to finish his and then not have any mojo to knit mine. So I decided, hey, brilliant idea. Let's do 2 at a time socks. One his, one mine. That way too, I have 2 different colored yarns so I won't get them like mixed up. It was a good idea. And it probably would have worked. However, I do not like 2 at a time socks. When I'm knitting. I feel like I've made a lot of progress, and I look back, it just doesn't look like a lot of progress. And I know it is because it's 2 socks, but I feel like it should be much further along. So 2 at a time socks is not for me. I've tried it twice now. Both times I didn't like it. So after I had done the heels, I ripped my sock out that I was going to make for myself. I frogged it, put the yarn away. That'll be used for something else later. And I might knit another pair of Level Up socks some other day. I don't know. But, so I'm just making them for him now. So I think when I cast on the second sock, just doing it with one knit needle, circular needle as magic loop, that my gauge was a little tighter. And when I did my fish fish lips kiss heel, I did one too many. I did an extra set of short rows. So when you do the fish lips kiss heel, and I'm assuming it's the same for all short row heels, you break the stitches into 3 sections on the heel, and you want as many wraps. You want just 3 sections, like a section of wraps, section of non-wraps, a section of wraps. And I went in a little too far at the heel, so I don't know if that's a contributor or if it's just my gauge. Either way, I have to rip back to the cuff, and that's a lot of frogging, guys. And I don't know what happened, but there's like, the sock is twisting. I don't know if it's just the way my stitches are on the needle, but there's like this weird, and you might be able to see it better here. See that? It's like this weird twisting going on. I don't know if that's part of the reason they don't fit him or don't feel comfortable on his feet. I don't know. I have blocked him. I don't know if I mentioned that. I did block him. When I had him try him on, he looks at me, and I was like, they're too tight. He's like, kind of. And he didn't want to like be like, make it a big deal, but it was. And he was just like, I was like, well, are they too tight that you would never wear them? And he was like, kind of. He goes, but can't you do that thing that you do where you put it in water and it gets bigger? And I looked at him and I said, yeah, hon, I could block them and I could see if they got bigger, but I don't think they will. And they didn't, not much, not enough to fit his feet comfortable. I am going to have him try him out one more time before I frog him, because it's just crossing my fingers, wishful thinking that in the time they've been sitting here, they've relaxed even more. I know it's probably not going to be the case, but I am going to have him try him on one more time. And I'm going to be very sad when I have to frog them. So, I know you guys feel the same way sometimes. Like, I know you know how I feel right now. And I was just so excited. I'd made so much progress. I was like, yes, just got to do the toe. I'll be done by tomorrow. No. Sorry for the faces, guys. It's just so disappointing. And that's my level up sock. And then I did I've been knitting on the flyleaf shawl. It's for my mom, and it's in the House Gnome, But a Cow from No Makers. And I'm knitting it on some Novas from Knitter's Pride, and they are size US 1, which is a 2.5 millimeter. And I love it. It's really pretty, and it's gonna be so pretty, like when it's all stretched out and blocked. And the flyleaf, hold on, I want to see if I have the picture of it on my phone, because I'd like to show it to you guys. It's really pretty. It's just that pattern I just showed you is the body of it, and then it has a knit on bottom, which is a leaf motif. And I don't know if I still have it on my phone. I don't. But you guys can check it out. It's by Michelle Miller, and I'll have a link to it. It's really pretty. I am going to knit myself one as well. However, I'm not going to do the knit on border for the leaf motif. I'm just going to make the body bigger, and I'm going to do a garter stitch border with a peacock edging. I think that would be really pretty, really simple. I love knitting the body. It's working up pretty fast. So, and I have yarn that I want to use for it that I just bought. I have been working on my cardigan, but I didn't get a lot done. It's the Calmus Lily cardigan. And I'm not going to show it to you. I didn't show it to you last episode, but you can see it in the test run episode, those of you who are interested. I will eventually show it to you guys. There's just not much to show. It's a 1x1 ribbon hem. And very, like 3 rows of the setup for the lace. So there's not much to see. There's no reason for me to really show it. But it's going slowly just because I have so much already I'm knitting on that I want to get done first. It's priority. And I'm knitting a baby blanket. As you guys know, it's the lemon, I'm calling it the lemon lime baby blanket. And I've got 6 blocks done. I put 3 of them together already. So there, and I know it's not, you can't really tell here, but a square is a 7x7 block. And it's got a crochet border around each block, and then they're crocheted together. So I'm crocheting them together in the yellow. The border around the blanket will be yellow, and then there'll be a border and a scalloped edge around all of it at the end. So I think it's going to be really pretty. And so far I love the colors together. And I've only put 3 together because I was working on it after I went canoeing. And between canoeing and crocheting, my whole was killing me. So I couldn't get a lot done on it. But I do have another green to add. And I've got some more yellow blocks. That's the blanket. That's really all I've been knitting on. I have been knitting on another blanket. It's really big. It's just a garter stitch blanket. It's kind of like a year-round project. It's 6 feet wide. It's going to be for my boyfriend's queen-size bed. I'll show it eventually, but it's more of a winter project, so I don't want to pull it out. It's huge right now to sit on my lap. It just gets hot, so I don't have it to show you. But I did knit on that a little for some brainless knitting. And I've got some enabling. I'll start with spinning first because I did a little spinning with my new trindle, and that came in a few, I don't even know when it came in anymore, but I love it. I got a rosewood shaft with, hey Jack. Sorry, it's we have like this, I don't know if it's a neighbor's cat or a stray cat. His name is Jack, and he comes up to my porch all the time for food. I just saw him. I don't know if he was eating or if he's done eating. So there's my rosewood shaft with the beaded weights. And I don't know if they still have this. You can go to the Trindle Man on Etsy. He's the one that sells the trindles. And he had a summer surprise kit, which was like a surprise shaft. You can list in the comments if there's a certain type you want, and I put that I would be interested in rosewood, and that's what he sent me. But it was a shaft with the two different sets of the beaded weights for the top. So I got these like rosy colored, peachy colored weights, which are lighter, and then I got a heavier set of weights, and I'm spinning up a pink, like a deep cranberry fiber. So the first time I was spinning with her, I decided to name her Rosie, and I thought that was really appropriate because everything is so pink and it's rosewood. And right now this is the fiber I'm using, and I plan on just using a bunch of pink different fiber samples I got once when I ordered a fat fiber box. I only ordered one fat fiber box. And for those who don't know about the fat fiber box, it's just a box that's put together by different indie sellers. And it's all these little samples from their shops and coupon codes. You can either get like a box of yarn, a box of fluff, which is fiber, or you can get a mix. And I had ordered a fluff box. So I got all these little packages of fiber. And then I won, each month they have a drawing, so if you buy from any of the fatties who are the sellers, you can enter in a drawing, and I got pulled for a big box of the fibers. So I have all these little fiber samples that I want to use up, and I think that's what I'm going to be spinning up on my trindle while I'm at my boyfriend's house. It's a little more compact. So it's been fun. I really enjoyed the trindle. I'm so glad I got it. The shaft is 10 inches, which is a smidge, a smidge long for when I sit on my boyfriend's bed cross-legged. So my arms are up in the air a lot. Sorry, that wasn't a flattering, you guys. My arms are up in the air a lot, so they get a little sore, but it works out well still. I like it. And then I bought a new bag from, Kicks and Giggles, from kicksandgigglesshop.etsy.com. And she makes like these wide wedge bags, and she makes regular wedge bags as well. So I got a Princess Bride. You got your rodents of unusual size, Wesley's mask. You've got Princess Buttercup's crown, the Sicilian's poison goblet, Amigo Montoya's swords, the Shrieking Nails. You have the cloak. I forget the name of the cloak, and I can't remember if the miracle, is it the miracle cloak? I don't know. It's from the Miracle Makers, and the wheelbarrow that they use. And then you got some other, like for the preacher, you got a book, you know, just some other little things. And I really like this bag. The inside is this polka dot. It's a purple polka dot, not a blue, and it's got a purple zipper. I like it, and they're really customizable. You select what you want with your bag, like you can pick to get the little hooks and the wrist, no extra cost, and it's a wide bag. I like it. I wish the fabric was a different cut. I wish I had more of the Wesley masks that were like more visible up top instead of mostly on the bottom, but I still really like it. I also got a couple orders from, excuse me for my reaching and coming close to the screen. I got it from Never Enough Time. And I've never bought from this seller before on Etsy, but I've seen her advertised a lot in the banners, and every time I go to her shop, the colors are just amazing. So I had put her in my favorites, and I was just keeping track, and she put out, my cat and Jack are out playing in the backyard, and my cat has a bell, so I heard her and wanted to see where she was, and Jack's like stalking her, ready to pounce her, and she's just walking up in the back of our trees. My cat, her name is Gertie. She's my brother's cat, really. She doesn't really like male cats, but her and Jack get along really well. He looks very much like a cat we had once before named Jessie, who unfortunately ended up getting hit by a car several summers back. But they used to be best friends, and Jack looks just like him. And Jack and Gertie have been getting along really well. So they hang out in the backyard. Side note. So, Never Enough Time. They send a little, sorry for the glare, little button with their purchases. And I really like the sheep on it. But she had some seasonal colorways. I don't know if she considers them seasonal, if they only come out at certain times. But they're like fall and Halloween colors, and I bought Apple Pickin', which I love. The color's great, and this is a pretty good representation of it. It's all these like oranges and pinks, and there's some yellow and different greens. You know, it's definitely the colors of an apple just off the tree, like a kind of like a Macintosh or like a Pink Lady, if any of you have seen those when you go out apple picking. That's pretty good representation. There's some purple. It's really, really pretty color. It has got to be actually one of my favorite colorways in a really long time. And there's the label. So it's a really good deal. You get 563 yards all together, and it's like $24, which is pretty typical for an indie dyer. So I also got her Witchy Poo, and it's Halloween color with like purples. Oh, that's a really good color. That's good. It's purples and greens and black with the coordinated heel color. And it's Witchy Poo. This is what I'm going to be using for the Halloween make-along. I want to make some socks that I can use with the O-Loops Fred and George challenge, and I'm going to use this one, I think. The apple picking is going to be for my own flyleaf shawl, the one that I told you about, where I'm just going to do the garter edge with the peacock bind off. So those are my plans with that yarn. Usually I don't plan out my yarn and patterns right away. Usually I think about it for a while, but the minute I got these, I knew what I wanted to do with it. I also put an order in. This was a separate order because at the time I saw it, but I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to be on a yarn diet. I'm just trying not to buy yarn, and it's really tough, especially when seasonal colorways come out. And I was like, great, I got most of No Makers. I won't be tempted to buy any Halloween yarn. But I couldn't help myself. I just love fall colors. I love Halloween color schemes. It's just, it's hard. And what I do on Etsy is if I find something I like, I put it in my cart and I let it sit there for a while. And I did, you know, if someone buys it, then I wasn't meant to be. If it's something I keep thinking about, I know I really I have to buy it. And that's what I do. Not the most scientific or, you know, restrictive. If I want it, I buy it. But that's what I've been doing. So it's been helping with a whole bunch of purchases. But I saw a fiber bat when I was looking at the other yarn, and I didn't get it because I didn't want to spend so much, and I'm trying to be good. I don't need more fiber. I have way more fiber than I'll ever be able to spin, and I actually might be giving some of that away as giveaways. It depends. I know. What do you guys think about D-Stash fiber as a giveaway? Is that cool? Is that, you don't do that? Or, yeah, sure. You know, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Not that it's my trash. It's just that I know it's going to be a long time before I get to it. And I just feel bad that it's sitting there and it's so pretty. So, let me know if you guys think that's cheesy or not. I don't know. Some people might have mixed feelings about what I put up, like about people who take from their stash to give away. I mean, I have nothing against it, but some people might. So anyways, the bat I bought. I went back and I did buy it because I kept thinking about it after I had the yarn. And it's this rainbow bat. Isn't that gorgeous? I really like the colors. They're bright, but they're also, they're vibrant and they're bright. And they're not super dark, which I like. And it's two bats on top of each other that are rolled together. So that's why it's got this. It's just two rolled up. And it is a wildflower bat. And I think for wildflower bats, a kind of like a one-of-a-kind type thing. But I think she might repeat some colors. I don't know. But it's Polworth, and it's 4.8 ounces. And I can't wait to spin this. But I have to get my other fiber off the wheel before I touch this. Maybe that'll be motivation. And then I also, when I bought the mini skein set from No Makers for you guys for the make-along, I also bought a mini skein set of her dodo bird. I do have the big dodo bird doppelganger set, but I really like the colors, and I wanted to see how it looked on her sparkle base because I just got her house gnome base without the sparkles, and the colors look great on that. They're just not as vibrant, and I don't know if it's just the set of yarn that I got because I know sometimes they vary according to your dye lot. It's whatever. They're vibrant, but I feel like these are just pop. You've got your pink, your gray, your orange, and your green. And I'm actually, when I make a patch, which I think I'm going to start soon actually, I'm going to use the orange from the sparkle And I'm going to use this color, even though it's not a green, it's more like a jade, which you can't even tell here because it looks blue. But it's really like this beautiful jade turquoise color. Not blue. Not blue at all. I'm going to use that for the leaves. And I think I'm going to use some witch's brew for the body, the outfit. See, guys, look, I've already got that planned out. I'm doing good with this planning out stuff. And my battery on my iPad is going to die soon. So it's a good thing I'm almost done talking. I think that's the last piece I wanted to mention. Guys, check out Never Enough Time. Like I said, I've seen her advertised on Ravelry a lot, and I just never checked her out until now. But her stuff is fabulous. She's now, I think, one of my top favorites. Her and No Makers and No Loops. Those three are some of my favorites. I love Lollipop Yarn colorways as well. And I do really like Kirby Werby colorways. I've just never knit her yarn. I've never been lucky enough to get a hold of it. But so far, Never Enough Time and No Makers. Loving their colors. I really like Highland Handmaids too, guys. Heather has great colors too. And her yarn bases are so different than other indie dyers. I really like them. I'm just trying to double check to make sure I've included everything, because I have recorded this a few times. This is, I think, my third time recording it here. I'm doing it at my house, and I live between my house and my boyfriend's house. My parents still live at this house, and my brother's still here. So the first time I recorded, my brother got in part of it, and then my mom got in part of the next one, and I was saying a lot, and I was apologizing a lot in some of them, adjusting with the lighting. I wasn't comfortable with putting it out. I feel a lot more comfortable with this recording. This is probably going to be the one I post. So come by the Ravelry group, check out the make-along. Please join in. Join in with the other posts on there as well. I have a introduction thread, a whips and finished objects thread, I have a chat thread, which is called Jibba Jabber, and then I have a Pearls of Color thread, which is just some place for you to share those little moments that inspire you, that make you happy, that all of a sudden it's just like this one wash of peacefulness or happiness that, you know, you find in a day that's maybe been rough or not so cheery. So that's a place to share those things. And I've got a few instances up there that I shared. And nothing big or anything like that. I think this week my biggest Pearls of Color moment, other than the one that I had already posted, is just, I guess, my sister's moving day in general. So that was a whole day, and it was a rough day. Temperatures were in the 90s, guys. Humidity was super high. We were covered in our own sweat from the minute we pulled up to her house until, we pulled up around 11, 10, 30-ish. And all the way until 7:30 at night, we were in wet clothes because we were just so hot, everything was so humid and muggy, and we were sticky and sweaty. And I'm sorry if I'm being gross and giving you too much information, but it was like puddles. And I cannot thank my boyfriend enough for his help. I can't do a lot of heavy lifting. I injured my back a few years back, and I just don't have the upper body strength anymore to lift heavy items comfortably. So my youngest sister, she's the one that was moving, she did a lot of the heavy lifting with my boyfriend, and she's been a cheerleader for years. She was all through high school, all through college, she was a cheerleader. So she's got pretty good upper body strength, which is good. And my boyfriend was just, we had a family emergency during the weekend, and my stepdad and my mom had to go up there and take care of it. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. Can't remember if I mentioned it in this episode. So I had to help my sister move. And I was hoping my brother would help and some of his friends, but it was his day off and he didn't feel like helping. But, you know, the minute I told my boyfriend what was going on and asked if, you know, he would mind helping, he didn't question it, and he just went right along with it. He didn't seem thrilled about it, but, you know, he never said no. He never even put up a fuss. He was just like, okay. And then when my sister needed wrenches and tools, he brought those along. He made sure that, you know, he set up their tables so that things were screwed in tight and that they had some place to eat that night. And he did a really good job packing things up, and we only had to make a couple trips when my sister has a lot of stuff and a lot of big items. She has collected over several moves, and she has moved 3 times in the past 3 years, and then before that she had college. So she's just accumulated a lot of heavy furniture, and I just can't explain how grateful I was to have him there, and to have someone that is so handy. You know, like he's a computer guy through and through, yet he is also a hands-on guy. He knows some electrical stuff. He's done roofing. He's done paint. He's always, you know, helping out with stuff like that. So it's really, really nice to have someone so handy around, someone who doesn't question helping out. And I was so thankful to have him. I was thankful for the time I spent with my sister. Even though most of the day was rough and spent moving items and it was hot, you know, we still managed to have a good time. And when I first started dating my boyfriend, and we've been together now for about 10 years, things were rough. Like, he didn't get along with my family. Sorry, I have to sneeze. But you know, he gets along really well with them now, and every time we get together and I see how well he does with them, I'm just reminded of how much the two of us have changed over time, and he gets along really well with my sister. And we all used to work at the same restaurant. My brother, me, my boyfriend, my sister. Not necessarily all at the same time together, but we all worked with each other except for my brother and my sister. My brother was long gone by the time my sister started working there. But my sister worked with my boyfriend. By that time, I was gone out of the job. But that's how I met. My boyfriend was on the job. I was working with him and my brother. So we're all kind of got this similarity. But he gets along better now with my brother. Him and my stepdad always talk techie stuff. And my stepdad's not a big techie guy. He's more of a hands-on guy. But yeah, they get along really well, and I had a good time, and I hope you guys have a nice weekend. I hope you enjoy your week, what's left of it. And if you have nice weather still, enjoy that while you can. Thank you for joining. Bye.